Hey everybody, this is iLad, and I'd like to welcome you to iLad's Back Vlog, where I'm desperately trying to clear away some old vlogging footage that I never used. In 2023, as my daughter was on spring break, we took a little trip down to Universal Studios, Florida, mostly to see the Harry Potter stuff. That's by far the most interesting part of it down there. Um, for us, for the things that we're interested in. So here's us poking around Diagon Alley. I'm shooting most of this video on my Insta360 One X2, which is, well, it was out of date even when I was shooting this, and also has a scratched lens, which kind of sucks. But it came out all right anyway, I think. Pretty much all the footage is sped up, at least by 50%. Here's just a little detail here. The Weasley brothers shop. The hat hides and reveals the bunny. So like one time the hat comes up and the bunny's there. Next time it's gone. Diagon Alley was really cool. I think this is my. I don't know. It might have been one of my. It's hard to choose my favorite area in the Harry Potter stuff. It was really cool getting to see inside all the shops. Some of the shops you could go in, others you couldn't, but they had like window displays set up. It was really cool. So of course the Weasley Brothers joke shop was pretty awesome. You could get a wand, and in specially marked locations, like you'd look for a plaque on the sidewalk. You stand on the plaque and you do the motion that it indicates. It's supposed to trigger an animation, like an animatronic type thing. Sometimes it works. The whole time I was watching my daughter fiddle around with these, I was like, why? How do these wands, I mean, there's no battery compartment or anything. Like, how do they work? Turns out they don't need electricity. What looks like an LED on the end is actually a special reflector. The light signal, which I guess is some version of infrared, comes out of an emitter on the architecture, and then the reflector just like flashes it back to the receiver. So actually the wands are totally inert. It's pretty brilliant. I mean, to be honest, like, I figured it was tracking a light in the end of the wand, but nope, it's not. It's pretty great. Anyway, so we were here for a bit. We were having some trouble with it. Eventually, we decided that my daughter's wand was actually messed up. Like, it works a few times. I think she does get it to work here. But we had to take it into Ollivander's for repairs. More on that later. So again, Diagon Alley, just really awesome. It's partly under a road, like a Muggle highway sort of deal. Not highway, I guess, but that's the bridge we just walked under. I love that it's glassed in, so you don't really have to worry about the weather. Of course, the whole time we were there, the weather was perfect anyway. It was really great. We just passed on our right stage that was for a show that we didn't really catch. I think we caught part of it maybe the next day. Really, I think we spent 3 nights in Orlando, and man, we could have spent easily an entire week there if we'd had the money, and we still wouldn't have seen everything just in Universal. Like, forget Disney World, just Universal itself is chock full of stuff. Like, there's so many shows and events, and man, needless to say, we want to go back when we get the chance. My wife is just the tiniest bit obsessed, but I would be really excited to get to go back as well. So this is one of the prettier stores. Like, the decoration here is just next level. I love it. The back of it is actually the exit for the Escape from Gringotts ride, if I remember correctly. Like this, there's the lockers that people can stash their stuff in before they get on the ride. So really, we're kind of not supposed to be there right now. So out we go. Back out in the street, you can see the huge dragon perched on top of Gringotts. That periodically animates. It breathes fire, even. Unfortunately, like, I actually got it on video, but the angle that I was looking at it is from the other side, and the sky behind it was so washed out that you actually almost can't see the flame at all. So I didn't bother including it. It is a huge disappointment from a cinematography point of view. But it is a really cool thing. And apparently sometimes it doesn't go off. Like, it's apparently sort of a finicky little mechanism they got up there. So here's one of my daughter's successes. She stands on the little plaque. She does the required wand wave, and all the animals in this pet shop animate and start like making noises at her. It's really cool. Sometime after this, I guess, when it actually officially broke. Yeah. Most of these plaques, there's usually a line for them, so anytime we're actually the first people, we felt pretty lucky. If you notice, like, as she steps off of it and it sort of pans around, there's a line that formed behind her. Like, those are really popular spots. Inside the pet shop was pretty great. She ended up getting, what do you call them, a pygmy puff? Not very pygmy, like it's freaking pillow-sized. But a lot of neat displays as well as merchandise. Like, good stuff, good stuff. Diagon Alley, of course, connects with Nocturne Alley. Didn't get very good footage in here because it's so dark. The 1X2 really doesn't capture that super well. Got the 1X3 now. I'm interested to try it in low light conditions, but I haven't really had much opportunity. So we just passed Ollivanders. Ollivanders is always crowded. In fact, here's a branch of the Ollivanders shop. Like, part of the shop is for doing a show, like an event. That was the line you saw out front. Then this is the actual merchandise area. We didn't come in here to buy wands. We came in here to have my daughter's wand repaired so that it would start working properly. And yeah, is very, very crowded, as you can see. Flourish and Blots is not a shop you can go into, but they have really cool animated window displays. And just being able to, like, stand in a street that actually looks like Diagon Alley is so cool. We could have spent hours just basically standing here looking around. It would have been fine. That brick wall you see just going off the right edge of the screen, that's the entrance. I'll show you later how you actually get to it on the other side. But you get into it from like a Muggle City looking area. What do we got here? We got boiled or jellied eels and stewed eels. My wife was like, nope, 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 nope. This one's by Grigorovich. Obviously a much easier place to buy a wand. You could see that there was no crowd there. If and when you go, I would suggest getting your wands any place other than Ollivanders. Like, you'll just have a much easier time actually making the purchase. Then your kid can get straight to waving it around, making stuff happen. Back in the background on the right, we're sort of heading toward it now, is one of the places you can get frozen butterbeer. Oh my gosh, frozen butterbeer. Let me tell you, we have tried many knockoff brands since then, trying to find anything that came close, and very few do. Here's the Leaky Cauldron. We actually had breakfast here one morning. It was wonderful. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We took a train from Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade, the Hogwarts Express, of course. So that's the way that we got into Hogsmeade the first time. This is us walking away from the train station. It's a ride. I mean, it's you're not literally on a train, I don't guess. Though the windows have projections on them to make it look like you're traveling much farther than you are. It's a little bit of a thrill experience. It's not it's a smooth, level ride. It's not like a coaster by any means, but it's a neat little experience, and I'm glad we did it. Hogsmeade was really special too. Like it loses something when you've got all this snow on the roofs and everybody's walking around in tank tops. And there are fewer stores here. Like Honeyduke's is, I guess, the big one. But again, just like it's a different experience. Like you got these village buildings all crammed in together, and the cool wizarding chimneys popping up everywhere. And yeah, we really liked it here as well. Now this bit of the walk here, starting with the little spin there a second ago, and going all the way out to Hogwarts Castle, is actually available on my channel as a 360-degree video. So if you don't like my editing, where I'm cutting around at different angles, you can walk it yourself, virtually, and look wherever the heck you want to. So you might want to check that out. It's pretty cool, if you don't mind my saying so. But yeah, Hogsmeade, of course, you can walk up to Hogwarts Castle from the village here. It's really cool. My wife actually came through here in the evening, and she got a couple of cool looks at the castle at night. I was back in our hotel room keeping our daughter, as she was going to sleep. But really cool looking place at night. Maybe next time we come, our daughter will be old enough that we'll keep her up later. I had to speak to the people and ask them to let me in, basically, since I wasn't actually going to ride the ride, but they were real nice about it. Basically, you go up and there's this whole thrill ride that starts up in the castle after an excruciatingly long wait in line. My wife did the ride. Me and my daughter didn't. I'm not really a ride person, and our daughter definitely isn't, and that's totally fine, because it takes the pressure off me. But we walked up there, and it was cool. Like, there was a lot of stuff to look at on the way, but it was a very long line. The coaster you just saw zipping past, I believe, is the Flight of the Hippogriff, something like that. Neat looking coaster. Like I say, I'm not really a ride person, so I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever get me on that one. And then in the back here is Hagrid's motorbike. It's back here somewhere. And I might actually do that the next time we're down there. I might ride that one. Looks a little tamer. Yeah, I just wanted to walk up to the castle and get some good views of it. It's really awesome. It's, it looks better from a distance because it's harder to tell that it's much, much too small. But that's the way it is in these theme parks. They still do a good job with the forced perspective. It ends up looking pretty darn impressive even up close. The stage over on the left, just passing out of the screen, they actually do a frog chorus or toad chorus show, similar to what you see in the Harry Potter movies. I do have a little clip of that on video, but I'm not going to show it because the sound is terrible. I mean, everywhere here, like so many people and so many things going on. There's a reason why everything's muted. So, yeah. I really liked Hogsmeade, but I think Diagon Alley might have been cooler. If only because there are more places to go inside. There's the Owl Post. That's actually where we got our wands. It was a little cramped, a little crowded in there, but not nearly as bad as Ollivander's. Yeah. Very cool. In Hogsmeade Village, there's what do you call it? The Three Broomsticks. Very cool place to have breakfast. We ate there too. Very awesome. Lost Continent and the Port of Entry. So this is getting out of the Harry Potter stuff. Outside of the Wizarding World, this is definitely the most interesting places that we saw. They're actually separate, even though I've got them together here in the video. I would like to spend a lot more time in both these zones, because we didn't really go anywhere in either of them. This is the Lost Continent area. Architecture is pretty spectacular, and I don't know what else here. There's restaurants, there's shows, I assume there's shops, and we didn't really take it in at all. We just sort of walked through. And I would really like to give it the attention it deserves the next time we're there. I did enjoy looking at the outside of all the buildings, though. Coming up, there's a sort of a fork in the road. Where we actually went is to the right, down to the Jurassic Park world. Skipping ahead using the magic of video editing to take the left-hand path and continue walking through the Lost World area. This is much later in the day, though. Or it might have been the next day, even. But yeah, there's some really cool... Like, a lot of it's Atlantis-inspired, so you've got Neptune up here. Looking all disrespected. Yeah, it's just really neat. It's along back here that I started thinking about the amount of landscaping they must have done. Like, I can't imagine, like, surely these trees were not already there. I mean, the construction would have just torn them apart, right? So they had to have, like, put in some pretty nearly full-grown trees and large bushes. You got all the landscaping in. Building a park like this is a monumental effort. It's crazy. So actually, in between the Lost World and or the Lost Continent, Lost Continent, and this place, which is Port of Entry, there's actually a whole Dr. Seuss world. That's coming up later in the video. I feel like visually, there's better storytelling going on if I put them together. So. But yeah, and again, these are the two places that I would really like to spend a lot more time in. A lot of shops along here in Port of Entry. I don't know, I assume there's also shows and whatnot. Not really sure. Now, when I did the preliminary editing on this, I panned too fast. But the arch says something about the adventure awaits or whatever, because I'm actually going out the entrance here, like going backward. It's kind of unfortunate. This area also, by the way, I have a 360-degree walk. 360-degree walk. I slurred that a bit, didn't I? So if you want to walk through here and again just kind of look around and see what you can see, there's a thing for you. We did go through a few other areas. I'd already mentioned Jurassic Park and Dr. Seuss. Here's the Dr. Seuss world. Zipping through here a little bit faster. Like I've kind of accelerated the footage somewhat more. It's not that I don't like Dr. Seuss, but it's a safe bet that most of the people here are bigger fans than I am. I mean, the amount of work that went into designing this place was pretty incredible. Like, full props to him. I enjoyed looking around. This was our daughter's, I think, favorite place that we went outside of the Harry Potter stuff. We spent a fair amount of time here, did a couple of rides. Well, they did. I didn't. Truffula trees. Probably, I'm pretty sure my favorite Seuss work is definitely the Lorax. And I don't know, they could have done more with it, but there's stuff there. It is definitely the most kid-friendly area. Like, there's stuff everywhere going on. And then we're coming up to the exit of the Dr. Seuss area, and that connects pretty quickly to the port of entry. Now here's the actual Universal Globe. Here's the Universal Studios, sort of mock entrance, I guess. It was pretty cool walking up to this. I liked it. Walking through it was even better, though. Like, after walking through what looked like a lot of studio spaces, we get to this, and this is like an old historic town. At first, I thought it was supposed to be like New Orleans inspired, and maybe it is. And then there's another one of those faux studios going on with the transformer on top. But moving through here, we actually saw architecture that I think was supposed to be representative of a lot of old historic areas. It was really, really cool. Like, for being maybe in some ways the least imaginative, I really enjoyed this walk. Which, again, if I'm not mistaken, is a 360-degree walk that you will find elsewhere on my channel. Links in the description below. Pardon me while my camera work goes nuts as I track a bird through that shot. I couldn't resist. So a lot of this was in preparation for a Mardi Gras celebration. That's about the time of year that we were there. So like you saw earlier, some stuff that was roped off. I think that was supposed to be part of the Mardi Gras. And then there's like this world tour kind of deal. I can't remember exactly what they call it. Like there's areas dedicated to different countries in the world. I don't know. I really enjoyed walking through. It helped that the weather is beautiful and we were there at golden hour. Like that was definitely part of it. So coming up here, I promised you I'd show you the other side of the entrance to Diagon Alley, and we're actually that's where we're heading now. We're walking up to it. So you're gonna see King's Cross Station up here on the left. Now the right. Now the left again. You do not get into Diagon Alley through King's Cross Station. Although you might have expected you would, you'd have been wrong. You actually go a little bit past it to Lombard Station, I think it's called. If you look ahead on just to the right of the road, you can see the night bus parked briefly, and then yeah, there's the entrance to Diagon Alley right there between those brick columns. All right, skipping way back. This is the Jurassic Park area. I got very little footage in here. I enjoyed going through what there was, but it felt very sparse. Like there wasn't a whole lot going on. If you want to ride a thrilling coaster, I didn't. Um, here's one. It's a little odd that it's right on the back of Hogsmeade, but it's fine. Yeah, this coaster looks like it would be a lot of fun for people who enjoy coasters more than I do. I had more fun editing this shot than I would likely have had on the ride itself. But yeah, I've got a couple of photos that I'll toss in there, but there just wasn't a whole lot that really I thought would have made for a great vlog, so I didn't really get much footage. Again, though, the landscaping here just really must have been a ton of work. Because like along this part, it actually feels like you're walking into Jurassic Park. I mean, the whole park is amazing. I mean, we didn't see everything, but what we saw boggled my mind. And we also ate at the world's largest Hard Rock Cafe, which was pretty cool. I was especially a big fan of the giant rotating pink car in the middle of the restaurant. Really in the middle of the bar area. It was really neat. And this is just kind of sitting outside, taking it in and relaxing, because this trip, as fun as it was, I have to say it was kind of exhausting. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Pardon the plug for my memberships here, but hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, consider purchasing a channel membership. We've got very, very low monthly rates, and your support in that way would be gratefully, gratefully accepted. Thank you so much for considering it. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.